initial fire that we extinguished, and I did talk to PR. Life Force 3 was trying to address you about an automatic alarm they're on. 433, roger.
Steve's here. Are we in the right spot here? Looks like it.
Force 3 for Metro. Life Force 3.
I think we're in the wrong
Life Force 3,
side though.
Callback number to the premises.
Let's go
Call
over
came from alarm
here.
company.
I don't necessarily want to be in the crime scene.
Yeah, copy that. Do they have a reset?
I keep driving through Steve's shot. All right,
Force 3, stand by.
let's get that. All right. All right, so we have there's two suspects down the bridge. We'll get tripods for that to look down further, but it sounds like we have a female in the ambulance right here with a gunshot wound to the chest. We're gonna have to talk to LAPD and see exactly what we have, but anytime you have a gunshot wound to the chest, that's usually not a good start to your night. She seems to be sitting up. My camera is so cold. Hey.
What's up?
Shot in the car?
Yeah, she doesn't look bad.
Huh. Are there bullet holes in the truck or no?
I haven't been able to get over there yet.
All right. I'm gonna get my tripod. You wanna stay here? You're gonna come with? Let's get a better look at that truck, see if there's a bullet hole in it, but this looks like a car-to-car shooting. Or, you know, a walk-up into the car shooting. Oh, hello. Who ran the red? Ah! Blinded the crap out of me. Who's getting in trouble for that? I don't know. I think there's bullet holes in the glass. Let's take a look here. And again, we don't want to get too close because we're already on the side of the crime scene here. Yep, bullet hole right through the front. Let's go take a look at that. How's it going, Sarge?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Oh, sir, real quick, did it happen here or on the bridge?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Thank you. There's a detective here too.
Go this way?
Oh yeah, you can go. Yeah. get a better shot of that bullet hole. Come on. There we go. All right. I only see the one.
The one gunshot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I saw. But
She was okay? Because
yeah,
the Sarge said she was okay.
they said she was shot in the chest, the first unit, but they had her side of her face bandaged.
Maybe it was just a
And
graze.
it looked like more of a graze wound than
Yeah.
it was anything else.
They got 2 guys in custody on the bridge.
Yeah, I'm not even feeding it.
Okay. Well, the question is, was it a road rage thing? Were they walking up? You know what I
Sounds
mean?
like they were walking.
So the suspects were walking, they drove by, they shot him. Maybe they mistook him for somebody else
Maybe.
because she's not a gangster.
No, not at all. Neither one of them is. I mean, I
Yeah.
saw her, and she's like a older Hispanic lady.
Okay, so not even close.
Yeah, not even.
All right.
And they're like not even treating it like a crime scene. They're letting everyone.
No,
walk
it's
back
weird.
and forth.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, they're talking right now, and then the detective was here. I assume he went to the hospital.
I don't know if he went to the hospital or the backup.
Oh, in Northeast?
Yeah, they just put out a backup, and that's what everybody took off for.
All right, I don't know. I'm in the air on it. I need more info before I make a decision.
Exactly.
You taking off?
Yeah.
All right, see ya. So, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it. They keep looking down, though. There's 2 officers over here that keep looking on the edge of the bridge. I don't know if maybe that's where it occurred. And we want to be careful because the trains are running right now. But I love this shot into downtown. That's pretty cool. Hang on. We just want to, anytime you're on the tracks, you want to be extra careful. It looks like there's barricades though at the end for the trains, so maybe we're in a good spot. Oh, they've got a arrow. Thank you, thank you. All right, yeah. There's 2. Well, wait, are we okay there? We might be okay there.
I feel sketchy on that.
Then you stay here and I'll go over there because I want to get a shot of them, and then I love the downtown skyline right there. It's really cool. So I'll wait for this light to change and then I'll get a shot of them. I just want that one skyline shot, and then obviously the first street sign. Actually, I can do that. I can do that from right here. So yeah, this is the shooting call that we heard earlier. It sounded like they didn't have a victim, and then after a little bit of monitoring while we were en route, we started hearing that yes, they might actually have a victim, and they did. All right, I get one last shot, Tay, and then we'll get out of here. Oh, you're coming? I thought you didn't want to come over here. Just watch out for the trains, which I don't think the trains are going through here because you can see there's a lot of dirt on the rail.
So there's barricades.
Yeah, there's barricades and dirt, so I think we're in a decent enough spot here. Alrighty, cool. So we've got everything we need to tell the story so far. If we can figure out what what the story actually is, because as of right now, we don't have a ton of information. We just know that a woman was shot. I mean, obvious bullet hole in the front of the pickup truck. But until we get some more information, we're kind of, and they're not holding it, so it's not a crime scene. All right. I think what we'll end up doing is calling, this is Hollenbeck, right, technically? We'll call Hollenbeck Division, see what they've got. Pretty wild when it's that close, right?
Yeah.
When you go, oh man, you know, what, a foot to the right or to the left, and it's a whole different story. So always, we talk about that a lot. If it's your time, it's your time. And obviously tonight it was not hers. So very, very lucky people. All right. So we have a second now. We're just finishing up with the car shooting. We're still here at the crime scene in Hollenbeck Division near 1st and Mission. This is the press release from Robbery Homicide. Try that again. Let's see if I can read today. Detectives from the Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division are seeking the public's help in identifying additional victims involved in various robberies conducted by 3 recently arrested suspects. On November 17th, 2022, this is where we were the other day, the Los Angeles Police Department's robbery homicide detectives, with assistance from officers from the Metropolitan Division, the Metro unit that we were talking about, arrested 3 suspects. I'm not going to name names here, but 3 suspects in custody. Looks like 2 men and 1 woman. We were at the one perimeter / search warrant for the one suspect here, who was a male. Which it's funny, we saw him in that jacket, and then the mug shot on here, he's in the same jacket that we saw, which is kind of crazy. So we're getting a little bit of information right now. This is a robbery homicide caper. So we're gonna have to follow up with that division. They're out of like LAPD headquarters. It's like the main group of guys who deal with like the serious stuff. We do have a suspect in custody. This has to do with possibly has to do with the follow home robberies that we've been having here in Los Angeles. So a lot of times people are getting followed from parties or clubs or whatever, and then they're getting robbed when they get home. So just as the name implies, follow home robbery, pretty easy and self-explanatory, but this has to do with that. So I'd love to get a shot of a suspect or 2. That'd be really good. But that's where we're at right now. That's what we got. And the fires doesn't sound like nothing. So I think we made the right choice by coming to this. Plus nobody knows about it. So right now we've got, looks like a bunch of Metro officers. So they're guys who are trained tactically in advanced weapon systems and police work like this. They're taking a suspect into custody in this building, I believe. We can see the officer on the SUV that they have over here. That's usually one of the SWAT pieces of equipment. We heard that they took a suspect into custody. We're gonna get some B-roll on this, and then I'll find out more information about it later. But there's not much we can get usually on these incidents when they occur in the moment. Usually things like this, it takes a couple days before we find out exactly who they were taking into custody and why. There's usually a lot more to it. They're really searching this guy. Yeah, they're like taking his shoes off and stuff. But looks like just one suspect in custody. So, one suspect in custody. It looks like LAPD SWAT was actually involved. I thought it was guys from the Metro unit, but looking at the equipment that they brought out here tonight, I would definitely say that it's the SWAT guys. Robbery homicide is handling. That's who we spoke with briefly out here. Again, we have to call and confirm what's going on. But as of right now, this is a suspect related to the follow home robberies that have been happening for actually quite some time here in LA. So looks like they're actually wrangling these guys up. So kind of interesting. We have one in custody here. We're gonna go make some calls and put it on the news. They were all taken into custody that same morning during the arrest and subsequent search warrants. Obviously different locations, right? We were at one location and then they were probably at one or two other locations for those other two, three suspects. Three total, so the other two. They also found during the arrest and subsequent search warrants a handgun, ammunition, and victims' property and items connecting them to the robberies were discovered as well. So that's pretty good. If you show up in somebody's house and they've got somebody else's like ID or whatever, you know, or items from a robbery that occurred, that's usually a good sign that you have the right person. The trio is believed to be responsible for at least 4 robberies that occurred from June to September of 2022. 2 of these robberies involved the victims being shot by the suspects. The arrests were made by investigators assigned to the Follow Home Task Force out of Robbery Homicide Division, which was created by Chief Michael Moore in November 2021. Pretty crazy stuff. I'm actually, and the charges are pretty nuts. They got 245 attempted murder, 1 count of attempted murder, 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon, and 5 counts of armed robbery with no bail. Wow. For California, that's like, they must have some serious evidence. So pretty bad people that they got off the street, which is great. It's weird that we were there too. We didn't really know what we had in the moment, but now, you know, hindsight. And I'm pretty sure, and Alex blur the names obviously, or I'll put my finger up, but I'm pretty sure that's the guy, because that's the jacket, right? It was a green Wu-Tang Clan on the front, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. So that's our guy, and Alex blur those names. Just, you know, if people want to look it up, they can look it up. Also, you know, I get a lot of questions. People always want to know where the, we can get out of here and the detectives are here. So people always want to know, will let Tay get her seatbelt on?
When this thing kicked off, guys, the delay in the calls was pretty significant. I need a unit instead of going.
Okay. So Tay and I always get messages here on YouTube and then on Instagram and even on the Key News Network YouTube where people can go to see the stories. We do full follow-ups and write-ups on every single story that we cover. If you're interested in figuring out and learning about the nitty-gritty details of all the insanity that you see here on Code 20, you can go to keynews.tv. It's K-E-Y, like the key that we use in the car and the one you use to get into your house. Key News, like what we produce. Key News, KEYNEWS.TV, because we put news on TV. So that's it. Go to there, click publication on the main page, and you'll see all of the stories. They go up on an app called Newsbreak that we work with very closely. Really good group of people actually over there. And all of our stories are published to that publication through our editorial staff. So really cool stuff. And again, great information, great follow-up details. This press release, obviously part of the stories that we cover, and we don't just film it and send it. We actually send follow-up information, and then those stories go out to you guys, to our readers. So pretty cool. But again, this is Code 20. You're currently watching the behind the scenes of where the news comes from. So that's it. And then again, through Movie Magic, we're going to be heading, I'm going to make a prediction. We're heading to another call. And we're en route. Yeah, 455's clearing off that fire at the 10 and the 60. I'll be en route to the reported physical rescue 6086 Venice Boulevard from the, just coming up on the 10 and the 110. All right, so we're just clearing off that fire, which, again, it's not really a huge deal for us because the fire is up on the freeway. There's literally concrete up, so there's terrain-driven fire and then there's wind-driven fire. We don't really have any wind. Downwind from the fire was a little bit of brush, which might take off, but if you look uphill from where the fire was burning, it ends at the side of the freeway. So usually when you have a situation like that, it's not really going to go anywhere. It's not going to, the cars on the freeway aren't going to catch on fire. They're moving. So, and then the transients or the homeless started it. So it's like, at that point, I don't really care, because nobody cares, because it's such a common thing, sadly enough. But we do have a call that just came out for a physical rescue. I'm going to put the time of call at 11:26 p.m. All right. So we're heading over there. This is just a straight shot for us down the 10, which is great. We don't have to go through any of the trans roads. But
28 West 30.
usually a physical rescue in this area is going to be pretty serious. We're talking high speeds. So we've got La Cienega Boulevard is right there. We've got Venice Boulevard. People go pretty fast on those two streets. And I see where they're reporting the call. That might be where the cars landed. Looking at those two high-speed intersections, it would be a fair guess and a fair assessment at this time, not knowing anything about obviously what we're going into outside of the dispatch, that this crash could have occurred on La Cienega at the intersection, and then the cars, spun and continued to slide over to the address that we have here. Or it could have been somebody coming off that street and then got hit by somebody on Venice Boulevard. So, additional.
We're getting reports. The vehicle's on fire with people trapped inside.
All right, that just changed things. I don't see a vehicle on fire. Might have hit the center divider, but I don't see a vehicle on fire at this point. We are. They do have the hose out, but it looks like it hit that pole in the center, which is pretty serious. This is going to be a major traffic collision here. Yeah, it looks like the vehicle went straight into a support pole for the freeway. That's pretty heavy stuff. And we've got 2 ambulances already, so I assume they're expecting multiple victims. And now that we're out, we're going to be direct line of sight, but not too much information as far as updates are concerned. All right, let's do it. Watch cross traffic. This guy's flying. Looks like we got 2 cars. It's gonna be a Mustang and a pickup truck. Oh, it looks like we're transporting 1 victim already. Very serious mechanism of injury. We've talked about that before here on Code 2-0. High impact to the rear of the Mustang, and then extremely high impact for the pickup truck that's actually into the pole. These poles don't usually move. You hit a pole like this, your car is going to be the thing that has a problem, not the pole. So we've got multiple. Looks like 2 victims. 1 we've already got transported here. Looks like they're in serious condition, if I had to guess, just looking at the speed that we're talking here. Looks like everybody's out, and I don't see evidence of fire right now. So it looks like no fire. and no entrapment because the pickup truck is so big in the cabin department. Cabin space, cabin area. Cabin department? Kind of the department. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff here. Oh, I think we got one. Whatever, we'll get the second one. Very intense crash. Very surprising that it wasn't worse than what we were hearing here. The new cars, the truck over here is very new. The Mustangs, I think I had to guess probably it's 2017, 2018. The newer cars are so much better built than the stuff we saw in the 80s and 90s. A lot of times when we're on fatal traffic collisions, it's older model cars. That or people not wearing seatbelts. That's always a big one. But older model cars do not perform as well as these do. I mean, we've got airbag deployments in the side, curtain airbags now. They've got airbag steering wheel. I mean, everywhere in the car you got an airbag. And you see an accident like this, that's that intense with the two cars, and then obviously the truck coming to rest up against that pole. We don't know how hard that truck hit that pole. And I mean, you can see the skid marks. I mean, we've got a pretty lengthy skid mark going all the way down the street here, probably about 60, 70 feet. So you got to imagine they're doing pretty high speeds. When we see, sorry. Like I was saying, when we see high impacts like this, you see people that are, being transported in, they're not dead. they're in decent condition. When you see that, the only testament to that is the build quality on these newer cars. Because an accident like this back in the 90s or even late 80s or even late 90s, early 2000s, excuse me, would have been probably a more serious, more substantial injury crash. So pretty cool to see people not walking away. Again, I don't want to say that they're totally fine, but being in a better condition than they would have been if they were in, a 1990 Honda Civic. No offense to the Honda guys. This is a weird one. We have a woman here living in her home. Oh, hang on. I'll explain what's going on in a second. Give me a minute. Okay, so we rolled up we've got a woman in her home saying that someone broke into her house, and she was hiding in the bathtub, and they're sleeping in her bed apparently. So we need to talk with the sergeant and find out what's going on.
You guys were quick tonight.
You know,
Have it LAX or what?
I wish. Hey, Sarge, what's the story here? This is kind of strange. Was she just high and got lost and thought it was her house kind of thing?
You know what? We haven't had any, I haven't spoken to her or anything like that.
You haven't talked to the RP?
6 Frank Robert Zebra 144, no want, no warrant. 2009 Toyota 4-door. Christy Valentine.
Yeah, there's another sergeant in there, so they're talking to it. I'm just out here with her.
Okay, copy.
We're trying to get the whole story.
Okay, I'll chat with them. Thank you, sir. So, again, we had the call came out as a woman saying that there was someone in her home, possible residential 211, which is armed robbery in progress. We came down and I jumped out and ran over here, and we've got a female.
467 copies the structure, study further Crenshaw.
There's a female who lives here, and she was actually hiding in the bathtub looking at her phone with her security system, and she sees this girl that they just took out in cuffs, laying down in her bed in her home. So we're not sure exactly what the deal is. We're gonna have to talk to the sergeant who's here, which I think he's walking up right now. We'll chat with him. Yeah, that's him right there. We'll talk with him. Let's see. There's a car coming down, and that might be related to the whole deal. The two sergeants are talking right now. I don't want to interrupt. I think they're trying to figure out what they've got going on. That, I think, is the homeowner's father. So there's that. Both sergeants are walking up, so we're going to wait a second. Yeah, it's definitely her father. He left the car running in the street. So they're going to talk, and then what we'll do is we'll go down, we'll flip around, we'll wait for the sergeant to come out, and then we'll chat with them once they've discussed with each other exactly what's going on. But like I said to the first sergeant that we spoke to, it sounds like maybe she looks like she's under the influence of something. So maybe she thought it was her home and broke in, and then was just trying to go to sleep, because it sounds like she was laying in our victim's bed. So kind of not the thing you want to be dealing with when you're home at 2:15 in the morning, about 2 a.m. So again, the bars let out here in LA around, I think they close at about 2. Usually they start getting everybody out at about 1:45. So if she was out drinking or something like that, then this could have been in relation to her night and where she ended up. So it could be a mistaken house type situation. Looking at that girl all dressed up, to go out, I don't think she was looking for a house to break into. I think she just grabbed the wrong spot. But again, we need to hear that from LAPD. And even if that's the case, that's still an interesting story. So that's all we got so far.
Seven copies signed to the structure in 77. Continuing.
What do you got? Sounds like, again, what we suspected.
Outdoor fire.
With extensions.
They're still responding.
Copy. And 455 is going to be going back 10-8 from the west side. It's going to be a possible 390 female into the wrong house. So it looks like she was out drinking at the bars and ended up in the wrong house tonight. I don't know if they'll actually press criminal charges, but kind of an interesting story. It's just, imagine being by yourself in your home and then some woman's getting in your bed and you're in your bathtub looking at her on your security camera. I mean, it's terrifying. So I'm glad it wasn't a serious situation with somebody armed, trying to do bad things, because this would have been a completely different story. So that's all we got. Female in her bed at 2 a.m. Cool. All right, so we've got a shooting in Hollywood right now with one victim down. LAPD is right there. They've got weapons drawn on a possible suspect. We don't know the status on our victim right now. We've got 2 or 3 911 calls that have already come in. Fire department is staging Vine and Fountain. So we're gonna go to Vine and Fountain is what we're gonna do, because they're gonna respond in southbound. Again, we've got one victim down. We don't have the status on that victim. This is going to be in Hollywood proper. This is just south of Sunset Boulevard in kind of, I wouldn't say the heart of Hollywood, just kind of on the east side. But yeah, it sounds like we have one victim with a probably possible multiple gunshot wounds, because we had RPs calling in, reporting parties stating that they heard multiple gunshots. So that's where we're headed right now, and we're gonna try and get into a spot where we're gonna be on the side where FD is staging, or at least where they're responding in. And again, we don't want to be in the crime scene necessarily, so we need to find a good spot where we're gonna be out of the way and also in a safe location. They're staging fire again at Fountain and Vine, which is just north of where we're hearing this incident occurring. So I think we're gonna go to that location and then come southbound from there. We're just getting off at Sunset right now. Yeah, we're gonna hit Fountain. Fountain's gonna be a bigger street also. If we do the little side streets, then we're gonna be in, oh, they've already got it blocked off. Okay, we might have to go down La Mirada. I think we're gonna do that because they've got LAPD up here. So let's go down La Mirada. That still puts us north of the location. I just don't wanna get stuck into the crime scene, and I was much,
Rescue 33.
Come on, dude.
7001
Damn.
South Central
I was much happier, here we go,
Agent 9,
being north of it, but I think this puts us north of it also. So I think this is gonna be a good spot. And look, they're filming something down here, possibly, maybe. All right, either way, we got a parking lot right here. This looks great. We got units right there. Hey, we got the spot. We got the spot. And they've got guns drawn on a suspect right now that they're yelling commands at, and they're moving up. So let's get that. Let's get that. Suspect being taken into custody right now. And tell you, we're gonna take a knee at this cinder block wall here. Tay, you want to get, yeah, you got cover? This is an extremely tense situation right now. We've got, they grabbed that unit? Okay, so there's nobody blocking the street. So this is a really tense situation. We've got what looks like officers right in front of us. They just took one suspect into custody. We've got a possible second suspect who's gonna be further south from where we're looking right now. And then obviously we have a victim down. There's a guy coming out right now. So the problem right now is they don't know actually how many people are in these tents right here on the corner. We can't see too well because we're actually on the side where the suspect possibly is. Let me get this. I'm not seeing our victim too well. I think our victim is actually laying right behind. There's a bird scooter right in the way, and I think our victim is laying down with his feet toward me because I see two shoes facing up right now. So I'm not too concerned about that. Obviously, that's very graphic. We're getting an airship overhead right now. But this is an extremely tense situation. We've got cars coming through. They have no idea what's going on. If they did, they wouldn't be driving through, obviously. Here comes the helicopter. They're gonna, holy shit, they're hauling ass. Tay, right here, right here, right here. They're flying. right, 455's got LAPD doing call-outs. I got multiple, it looks like 2 suspects in custody thus far. It sounds like there might be 2 more inside the tents, and I got 1 victim down, unknown status on him. All right, we got a 3rd coming out. So, again, fire department is staged to the north right now, around the corner. We've got 3 or 4 units here with 3 suspects in custody, or persons of interest. I don't want to, say that they were involved in the shooting. They're going to be in custody. They're still going to do call-outs, and then we do have a victim down, but we don't know the status on that victim currently. Like I said, I saw some shoes over here. Oh, there they go. They're sitting them down on the. They're sitting them down on the sidewalk right now. And we got a, looks like a 4th suspect coming out right now. Yeah, we've got 3 in custody, 4th coming out right now. I think he's either grabbing a rifle or a shotgun. I think he's getting a rifle or a shield. Again, this is an extremely tense situation, and the biggest concern right now is for them to get this cleared out as quickly as possible. And then once they get it cleared out, then they can let the fire department come in and render aid for our victim, because right now I don't, it's probably not looking too good for him. And again, we don't know if these people are actual suspects or if these people were just living in the tents when the shooting happened and somebody did a drive-by on the homeless. We have no idea what's going on here as far as who's who. Very Hollywood, right? We're worried about hardcover, and the guy with the leaf blower is like walking through like no big deal. There's a lady, she's got her dog over here. She's trying to get the dog out. I also don't want to blow the fact that we're here too, like nobody's really noticed, so that's usually a good thing. This lady is not listening at all. She's like out walking her dog. She tied her dog up. Oh my God. All right. Christ almighty. Oh, right here is good. We only have the one victim right now, but nuts. So there we go. Perfect. Perfect spot right here. They've got the EKGs hooked up to them. We got CPR in progress right now, and it's they're not moving very quickly. So usually, here, let's come over here. Usually, when you see that happening, that's not a good sign for our victim. Not a good sign. Looks like they're going to pronounce him here on the street. So this whole area is going to be a crime scene here in a minute. We got guys with shotguns getting at me. It's nuts. So it looks like the fire department has a safe spot. They must have pulled a bunch of units in the way. But yeah, they're going to cover him right now. All right, so we've got one victim deceased right now who is suffering from what sounds like multiple gunshot wounds, and it's still not clear over here. I think we might still have a suspect. I got a cop grabbing a rifle here. So again, they're still going to be clearing the tents. I like where we're at right now because we have so much equipment. Oh, there they go. There they go. Tay, I'm going right to you. There you go. Perfect. So it looks like we have 5 or 6 suspects in custody. Again, I'm not sure if one of them is the shooter or if they just happened to be inside the tents at the time of the shooting and then LAPD brought them out. Whatever it may be, the fact that they weren't outside and they weren't able to clear those tents in a timely fashion, that actually delayed LAFD's response to this individual. But when it comes to a tactical situation where you have a possibly armed suspect who just killed somebody, they're not going to allow firefighters to go in there and treat anybody in a situation like that. They're not going to risk their lives. So that's why we saw the delay with our victim, who is again no longer with us. So very unfortunate. I don't know. Again, the circumstances around this are still up in the air. We're going to get more information from Hollywood Division, probably from the watch commander. It's almost 3 a.m., so we probably won't see anything until probably about 6 or 7. But at that point, we'll be able to get some more info as to whether this was like a drive-by, because they're going to do forensics on everybody they pulled out of the tent. They're going to check their hands for gunshot residue and stuff like that. They're going to look for a weapon, obviously. If there isn't a weapon here and there's no gunshot residue on any of those people's hands, then we're looking at a situation of like, somebody who's driving by or on a bicycle or something like that. So that's where we're at right now. But we'll talk to the officers and we'll see what they have going on. Probably later once everything chills out, and then we'll go from there. LAPD just finished clearing the rest of the tents that are down there. They didn't find anybody else inside. Unfortunately, one victim was pronounced deceased at this incident tonight. Not a lot of information on it. The only thing we've got is one victim down, and there was, I want to say 5 or 6 people that were taken into custody, and that poor dog too. The woman put a blanket on the poor thing. It is cold out here. So I didn't see anybody else injured. They did request, we have 3 ambulances on scene right now, one of which was dealing with our victim, and then the other 2 were on standby. So that's what we have right now. This again is in Hollywood. We're really at like Vine and Sunset is the next major, well, Fountain's over here, but Sunset would be your next major to the north. I would say, again, in the middle of Hollywood. It's more like kind of on, not quite the outskirts, but it's almost to the freeway. Again, this is kind of not a super common thing, but where it happened is definitely of interest. So we're going to put this together and get this in, and then our editorial team will get more information in the morning, and the stations will, obviously. But that's what we got. 5 in custody, possible suspect, who knows. Multiple calls of shots fired and 1 person deceased. So pretty unfortunate.